Hello and welcome to Coaster Waffle, where today we are reviewing one of our favourite rides at Alton Towers called Nemesis.
Now, for those of you that don't know, Nemesis is a B&M Invert designed by John Wardley. It was built in 1994, which could be considered the golden year for UK roller coasters, as the Pepsi Max Big One was also built this year.
During this video, we're going to begin by talking about the general ride experience before going on to the elements of the ride and concluding with our final opinion and score.
Now, as you approach the ride from Forbidden Valley, you will see signs saying that this is the most intense ride experience in the world. However, Intimidator 305 begs to differ.
Upon entering the queue, you are greeted with a beautiful Nemesis sign.
The queue consists of some stairs, some slopes, some cattle pens, and some wonderful views of the ride.
We now pass the vertical loop and approach the station. Now, the station is the monster itself, and it really needs some work now. It has had its years, so we are really looking forward to how this new project will improve the appearance of the station.
So, when you get into the station, on your right there's an option to queue for the front row, which me and Mark would both highly recommend, because we believe it offers the best views of all of the surroundings, and it makes you feel like your feet are going to crack against the rocks.
Upon leaving your belongings in the station and taking a seat on the beautiful trains, the floor lowers and the ride begins, and we approach the lift hill, which takes a long time.
During this lift, you can pull out your phone, hold it up at the security cameras, and get the ride stopped by security. However, this would not be recommended by either of us.
You are a cretin if you do this, because you can not only pose injury to yourself, but also to others standing by and on the ride.
At the top of the lift, you shall experience the classic B&M pre-drop, which you should be very familiar of if you have ridden any other B&M.
The idea behind this element is to alleviate pressure on the chain and also to build tension as the ride begins.
For this, you go into the slightly banked turn and then into the first drop, which is not very steep.
But somehow this builds up speed. You are now whipped into the first inversion of the ride, the corkscrew, which is quite intense but very enjoyable.
Now, this corkscrew is different from most other B&M inverts, as they usually start with a vertical loop. However, it's a perfect way to begin this ride, uses the space very well, and packs in a lot of the intensity you experience throughout the ride. Now gets yanked into the downwards helix, which I'm very prone to greying out on.
But as you will discover from our videos, Tom has an incredibly low G-force tolerance. The next element is a 0G roll, which funnily enough is 0 Gs.
As Mark has just eloquently stated, during this 0G roll, you experience 3 seconds of weightlessness. However, I'm not a huge fan of this element, because whilst it is very good, I can be prone to banging my head if I'm near the back of the train.
Now we enter the stall turn, which is quite frankly naff. In all seriousness though, this element provides great pacing for the ride and prepares riders for the next element, the vertical loop.
Now, this vertical loop is extremely intense, as it is very tight and gets you a lot of whip over the top.
The incredible Overbank turn comes next, and this is where we receive one of the greatest lines of all time from John Wardley himself.
You really think your feet are going to crack against the rock?
After this minor dead spot, the train dips back down and goes into a tunnel. This is where you get what I think is the best moment on the ride, the final corkscrew.
This corkscrew is one of the closest elements to the nearby scenery, and on the off chance the special effects are working, you may be met by the smoking van.
What? You then turn into the brake run, and your experience of Nemesis is over, unless it breaks down, and you have to sit on it for half an hour.
Tommy's just being dramatic. This is a statistical improbability.
This has happened to us on Spinball Wizard before, where I got stuck in the rain without a coat on. However, this is a story for another day.
Despite the satirical nature of our analysis, we really do think Nemesis is a great ride, one of the best in the UK currently, and it is my number 2 in the world, despite riding incredible rides such as Zadra.
Nemesis is a ride that has done so much for all of us UK enthusiasts, and without it we probably wouldn't be here today.
It truly has had an incredible impact on not only the UK rollercoaster environment, but also the greater rollercoaster industry at wide.
From the moment you enter Forbidden Valley, you'll be able to hear its recognisable roar as it speeds down the track. We may lose this as a result of the sand-filled tracks which it is being retracked with, so we must be able to enjoy and savour it whilst it lasts.
However, I think we can all agree that it is important for this change to occur if it secures the longevity of Nemesis as a rollercoaster in the UK, as it truly is a classic and should be preserved.
Now we shall move on to our final thoughts on Nemesis in its current form. As most of us can agree, Nemesis is an incredible ride. It was one of the first to utilise the terrain as well as it did, which was blown up using TNT.
The near-miss elements are truly one of a kind, as not many roller coasters are this close to the terrain. A truly brilliant ride, Nemesis incorporates some of the world's best elements on a B&M Invert while still providing a unique ride experience.
This ride is great because it can be enjoyed by most people no matter what experience you have with roller coasters. Despite its intensity, its short duration means that most people will be able to find something to enjoy in its layout. You are very unlikely to come off Nemesis disappointed that you went on.
So my final score is a hefty 9.5 out of 10, as it truly is one of the world's best rides.
I would rank Nemesis slightly lower, but still acknowledge just how brilliant and influential it is for the coaster industry. My final score is an 8.9. This gives it a 9.2 Coaster Waffle rating.
Thank you for listening to today's waffle. The following montage is of images from our last visit to Alton Towers this season. We hope you can enjoy and respect Nemesis for the last time with us.
Before you go, make sure to crack your feet into the like button and make sure to smash that subscribe. It will be much appreciated, and if you did enjoy, there will be many more videos like this in the future.